Being shy sucks. And it's only within the last few years of actually stepping out of my shell, I've realized how much not expressing myself and not speaking up was really holding me back. In this video, I'm going to share with you my unfair secret that I have used to take myself from a shy kid into an emerging man who is not afraid of expressing himself or share his opinions. My name is Zach, and I'm on a mission to be the most charismatic version of myself I can be. I used to be the quiet one in high school. I even had myself the nickname Ferb from Phineas and Ferb. And if you haven't seen the show, basically, Ferb doesn't say anything. And yeah, that used to be me. But I've now got myself to a place where I'm comfortable enough to go out in public and talk to strangers, including girls, and be able to express myself and not be afraid of rejection, which is something, honestly, that I just didn't think I would be able to do. And it feels so liberating in order to do so. It allows me to experience the world in its fullest colors. This secret that I want to share with you, I've used to obliterate. Haha, gotcha. Obliterate my overthinking and hesitation and fear of rejection when talking, and that is improv. Improv, short for improvisation, is a type of comedy which is completely unscripted and unplanned. Due to its nature, you just have to say whatever comes to your mind and express whatever comes to you naturally. So it's a great way to break down that barrier of overthinking and hesitation. Over the last couple of months, I've done a few of these workshops, and I absolutely love them. They're so much fun to do, but what's even better is I feel like I'm getting some real, tangible benefits from doing them. And let me share a few of those with you. The first amazing skill that I've got profoundly better at is this thing called mind-mouth connection. Now, what is this exactly? It's simply when you have a thought, the time it takes for you to articulate that. This is a fantastic skill to have, and I feel like I still have a long way to go with this, but I've already noticed huge improvements. It's something that from the very beginning of the workshop we worked on right away, and honestly, it's such a foundational piece to improv. An exercise that we did in our very first class, which actually might help build your mind-mouth connection and speed that up, is imagine you have a small little box, and it's just got basically Pandora's box. It's got an infinite amount of objects in it, and all you have to do is randomly pull out an object. But as you pull out an object, you name it. For example, I could just start here off the cuff. I can go fox, dingo, grass, paddock, fence, sky, clouds, and so on. And so the idea is to just say whatever comes to you. And what's quite remarkable is I just did that then, but when I started this improv stuff months ago, I struggled to get maybe even like one or two things just pulling randomly out of the box. It's a great exercise to do, but that's just one example of the many things that we do in these improv workshops to improve thinking off the top of our head. And something that goes quite closely to thinking off the top of your head, which is number 2, is actually having opinions and voicing those. And the connection is when you are asked a question, instead of filtering that through like what is going to be like the right answer here, I don't want to sound silly, you literally just let it fly. Whatever's at the top of your head, you just let out. I used to never express exactly what I truly felt. I was almost like a chameleon in whatever environment I was in. For example, if I was hanging out with the basketball guys and they were listening to rap music and they'd ask me like, oh yeah, Zach, what do you think of this music? I would just go along like, oh yeah, I like this. Whereas nowadays I would just straight up tell my truth and just say, no, I think it sounds awful. This can be seen as a pretty bold thing to do, but I've discovered that it's just so important to really be yourself and actually let the world know that too. Otherwise, you're literally just denying your truth and you're just blending in with the crowd and not actually standing for something, which I think is so incredibly important. But unfortunately, I think a lot of us fall victim to this, especially in the workplace setting is a common example where you'll just go along with what the boss says, even though you might be thinking, hey, we should be doing this differently. And that's why I feel like having opinions and voicing those is so powerful. And in improv, some of the exercises we do is we learn to just let it fly. Just expressing opinions and like letting them filter out into the world and just letting it be, like, you just learn that it's totally fine. That is okay. Whatever you're thinking is right, which is such a big mental barrier that I think a lot of us struggle with. But since doing a lot of these exercises, improv, breaking that down, it's completely liberating to be able to express yourself in an appropriate way. Final way that improv has had a massive impact on me, and this is probably something that really excites me, because back in the day, I used to feel like I did not have any sort of emotion. I used to suppress them up so bad, it just got to the point where I could tell that it wasn't healthy. But having an environment like an improv workshop where you are world building and you're creating these characters who have emotions, who have points of view, to be able to express that in a safe environment where you can go crazy. Like, you can yell at the top of your voice, you can scream, you can be angry, or you can just be like sobbing and really, really sad, and just having a space where you can actually let that fly. It's because in the real world, like, where you're going to practice that? You're not going to practice that in the workplace, or you're not going to just go out and talk to people in public and practice being angry with them, for example. So that's why having a place like an improv workshop has been super beneficial for me, because I'm able to just like really express and just open up myself. And I just think being in touch with your emotions is just such an important part of being a human being. You don't necessarily have to act on your emotions, but literally just feeling them and sitting them for a while is just something that I find so important, to be able to connect deeper with one another. I really love throwing in some more expressions and emotions when I'm just talking to people in day to day. For example, someone might say, hey, let's go to the store and we'll get some ice cream. And I'll be like, oh, I don't want to go to the store because I'm just here laying in bed and I just don't want to do anything. And so playing, and at that point you're very much embodying a character, but it's just so much more of a fun way to express yourself. And especially being a little bit more introverted, it takes a little bit more energy, but I'm trying to build up the baseline where that can become a more natural way of expressing myself. I think it's a lot of fun. And if you haven't tried it, I'd recommend trying a few of these things, maybe in your next conversation, or also checking out an improv workshop. If you're here in Melbourne, they actually do a free workshop at Improv Conspiracy, and that's how I got started. I loved the free taster so much that I just signed up for a couple more workshops, and it's something that I plan to continue to do, because as you can tell, that these skills that I've listed, and potentially what you can even see with me now conveying to you, it's helped me grow so much. I love it. I really do. And if you guys love communication stuff and that's something you're interested in improving on, you can join me in my journey. That's what I'm talking about here on my YouTube channel. You can check out a video above.